Hey global Ghanaian citizens, Adrian here. Welcome to the Sound of Accra Podcast. This is the show where we showcase global Ghanaian excellence to the world. If you're listening for the first time, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into Nana Kwame Bediako, also known as Freedom Jacob Caesar, which is his alter ego, also known as Cheddar. We'll take a quick look at his 7 rules and 7 principles that turned him into Ghana's real estate king. From building 2 houses on 1 plot to building Petronia City, this is definitely the playbook that you've been waiting for, all right? So let's probably take it to the start where Nana Kwame Bediako started. So this is his Wikipedia page. In his early days, most developers usually build 1 house per plot, but Cheddar asks himself, why don't you build 2 houses on 1 plot instead of 1? And it's that mindset that scaled him to about 8 houses per plot and then 500 luxury homes across Accra, Trasacco Valley, East Legon, you name it, all of the prime areas across Accra. Like we discussed in episodes such as Ghana's farms to Accra's markets, it's all about maximizing what God's already given you. So 1 plot alone could turn into generational wealth. And by 1 plot, I'm referring to land. But Nana Kwame Bediako, he didn't stop at houses. He's now diversified into building hotels. You can see number 1, Oxford Street here, which is his popular apartment style hotel. And now he's looking to build a whole entire industry. So this is, an overview of what Petronia City would look like, which is his industrial vision for the city of Takoradi. All right. So going back to Nana Kwame Bediako, what are his 7 rules for real estate? What's the 7 principles for real estate? So let's dive into what he shared at the recent Africa Real Estate Festival. Big thanks to Ivy Prosper, who posted this video. And essentially, he gave a keynote at Africa Real Estate Festival, which took place in Accra a few days ago. I've also interviewed Ivy Prosper, so I'll make sure I'll leave a link to the interview I did of her, which did really, really well. And she streamed this event on her YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check out Nana Kwame Bediako's full speech, I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's go. So here we go. This is the 7 rules to real estate according to Nana Kwame Bediako. All right. And let's go through them one by one. The first one, the second one, and the third one is location, location, location. As you all may hear from property experts, real estate experts, property location is one of the most important things of property. I'm no property expert, but what I have learned for sure, if I do know anything, is that the location is everything. The location determines how much rent you can command. The location can determine how much value you can command from a property, and the location can determine how much popularity you can get for specific property just by the location alone. So he stated these 3 things, and location is important because of proximity to demand. You want to build where people live, work, and aspire to be. Infrastructure access. So where you have a good location is going to be determined by things like the roads, the utilities, and connectivity, availability. And they also determine the long-term viability of the property and also growth corridors as well. You also want to think about where the city is heading in the future, not just where it stands today. So these are the things that you want to think about when it comes to location, when it comes to building property in anywhere of the world, not just Africa. So let's move on to the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rule that he gave of real estate. And the 4th one is vision. And he says, identify the societal deficits that you intend to address. Great developments solve real problems for real people. So a property should not just be erect for the sake of it. It should also seek to address a problem in a specific area. Maybe a specific area needs something that it doesn't have right now, and you are the developer that sets to achieve it. Once again, I'm no real estate expert. I'm just going by these principles and what I've picked up from property over the years. Number 5 is timing. So Nana Kwame Bediako said, understanding societal needs and enter the market at precisely the correct moment. If you enter too early, if you enter too late, both can carry risk. And that's with a lot of wealth vehicles, is understanding when to enter the market and when to exit the market. Similar like stocks, like crypto. It can be with, buying, selling cars, buying, selling watches. It can be with investing in different types of things. Timing is always crucial. All right. Number 6, control. Maintain influence over ownership and land acquisition. Without control, your project's destiny lies in someone else's hands. So the way I understand this one, especially in Ghana, is making sure that you are fully control of the land, that there's no land disputes, that you are 100% the owner of the land. That's one that definitely comes to mind, because if the landowner comes up from nowhere and says you don't own that land, you're going to be in very big trouble, and you are going to be in for a very long land battle. So that's a very important one. And number 7 is value creation. That's his final rule for real estate. And Nana Kwame Bediako states, ensure your developments provide genuine value that your target audience can actually afford and access. So where you're building and who you're building for, make sure that target market can actually afford it and they're able to access it, which I think is very important. Very, very important. So let's go on to the 7 principles of real estate that he talked about at the conference, right? And number 1 he mentioned was acquisition. So I was speaking about this slightly a little bit. And he said securing land ownership is foundational and often a lengthy process. Begin early and stay patient. If anyone's had any experience buying land in Ghana or even buying a property elsewhere, you may understand that buying land is a very lengthy process, let alone buying property is a lengthy process. Everyone should probably have experienced that at some point. Number 2, land policy. It's important to master the legal and bureaucratic framework of each country. No 2 markets are the same. Buying land in Ghana is going to be completely different to buying land in South Africa. How it works, the land commission, how it's all set up, different rules for different markets. And I think that goes for other things in business as well. Number 3, landmark. So Nana Kwame Bediako stated, create developments that become recognizable markets, powerful marketing hubs for your brand. And as I showed you earlier on with his property at number 1 Oxford Street in Accra, this is a very iconic property that almost everybody knows because it's built in such a location and it's built in such a way where it's made itself quite iconic in the city. It's almost part of the city's skyline, if you will. And I think that's what you need to aim for, according to what he's saying. Number 4 is footprint. Implement large-scale impactful projects, industrial or eco parks that leave a lasting mark on society. And that's another one that he gave, okay? So you want to think about the future of society when you're building. Let's continue to the final 3. And he says blueprint as number 5. So leveraging architectural, engineering and infrastructure planning to ensure every project is integrated and fully functional from day 1. So before you even start the building, the plan has to be in place. And that's what I'm getting from that. If you don't have a good plan, then you're planning to fail, according to what Nana Kwame Bediako is saying here. Number 6, he says land banking. And he says treat land like capital, whether you save, rent or lease parcels strategically to build long-term portfolio potential. So in order to build, you definitely need land. And there's some projects you're not going to build straight away. So you need to bank land in order to be prepared for when you're ready to start a project, you can build that project. And number 7, the final one, which I really liked actually, because it's showing that he's not thinking just about humanity. He's also thinking about animals and he's thinking about nature as well, which a lot of people can overlook. We are, going around Accra and more we're seeing less nature, we're seeing less animals, we're seeing more and more buildings come up. But if we can keep these buildings in the midst of the animals and the nature that we have, the beautiful nature, the beautiful animals that we already have in Accra, I think it's really, really important to preserve that. And this 7th and final point was one of my favorites. And he says, prioritize the environment in every decision. Sustainable development is not optional. It is the foundation of lasting success. Powerful. So that's a very powerful point he gave there. And that's Nana Kwame Bediako's, 7 principles of real estate and the 7 rules of real estate. So what simple action steps can we take from Nana Kwame Bediako here? Once again, disclaimer, I'm not a real estate expert. I'm just giving my views and my opinions here. what we can take from here is that own one plot, build 2 units minimum, and test the density. I would network first, brand yourself before the buildings. He's got a really big personal brand, also known as Freedom Jacob Caesar, also known as Cheddar, and add value daily as well. Cheddar says people remember impact, not just invoices. All right. And what you want to do is you want to embrace loneliness. Big vision means solar nights, studying blueprints. There's a great website called Strategy Breakdowns, teaching you the blueprints behind the most valuable companies in the world. And that's something that you can take a look at. I'll leave a link in the description below. So from poultry trading to Petronia City, Cheddar clearly stacked wins by asking better questions. So Nana Kwame Bediako proves real estate isn't just plot chasing, it's city building with Ghanaian soul. Location, 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 vision, control, value, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the cheat code. If you guys love this episode, watch the episode I did with Kofi Anku on the future of Ghana real estate, which is a really good one for you guys to check out. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check this one out here, which is really, really good. And apart from that, what I'll say is I'm Adrian Daniels. You've been amazing. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much. And before I go, if you guys want a copy of these 7 principles or rules of real estate, send a DM to us on social media. Just search for us at The Sound of Accra, or visit the website and get in touch with us. That's The Sound of Accra, and we will make sure we'll get a copy over to you. So let's build Ghana together, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.